Case scenario. I mean, it's exactly what you want. Like I'm as passionate, and you want somebody who cares. Like the worst is somebody who's just in it to collect the paycheck. And Dave is, as you appear, he's a very genuine guy and a very very gifted actor. And he just really wants to be directed and wants to make the best possible film. So everything, he's just a genuine guy and a lovely. He's an old soul, you know. And I think that, you know, when I saw what he did in Blade Runner, which is kind of what you want with this book. Like, this is an Uber ad, and it's not. We had no corporate sponsorship. And, it's like Kleenex. It's just so commonly used right now that you can use it as long as you don't defame the product and you use it accurately. So and anybody who's making films, you can do that with any product as long as. Please don't quote me on this, but you can't. It's all fair game as long as it's used properly and there's no defamation of the product.
Was there any debate between
the action? And in terms of blocking it out, I don't overcover it. I try to just do it. I try to do it just sort of A to B, B to C, C to D, and not because you get like we had 46 days, but we don't have a ton of time. You know what I mean? It's not a $100 million film, so I think it's a giant waste of time to sort of reset. And sort of like, oh, let's shoot it from 3 other angles from another thing. It's part of the prep process where you say, okay, how are we going to shoot this little section? And we know exactly how we're going to shoot it. So we just sort of, you know, go through the stunt. So we're not resetting the story and redoing everything and just going piece by piece, and trying to do it in order as much as possible. And then the comedy, it's partly in the dialogue, it's partly, we try to inject a lot of mistakes into the action, which is sort of a Shane Black thing, and just embrace surprising people with stuff that you think is going to go one way, but try to go the other way with it. Mm-hmm. She's fantastic. She's very funny. You know, there was a little concern about Guardians of the Galaxy because it's Karen and she's not in face makeup. I thought it was an interesting thing to do, and she's a really good fighter. She worked with Iko, and I was surprised a lot of those takes are her and not her stunt double in there. So she's, she can be nicer and a great director in her own right, for sure. I couldn't be more of a fan of the Raid films. And has anyone seen The Night Comes for Us? Jesus Christ, like that fucking movie. That movie's insane. It's insane, the violence in that movie. But I find it really funny. Like I find all that, and I find like it almost goes full circle to being funny again. He was my first choice, and everybody supported me with the choice. And then, very simple process. I wrote him just an email. He's the same manager, I think, or there was some connection with Dave that I just reached out to him and I just said I'd be really interested in working with you. I think you'd be great as a villain because I've never seen you play a villain. And you have so many great villains in your movies, and to see you embrace that sort of vibe in your movies, flipping it to the other side would be really interesting. Yeah, I would love to work more, and I was excited just to learn from him as a fight choreographer as well about how he does it. Going on as you're prepping a film, and really the sound sort of gets punted a little bit to the end. But in the same breath, once you're there, you want to make sure it's great and crisp and interesting. I'm a big fan of Foley, and I don't know if anybody's seen Goon, but my proudest moment of Goon is walking by the Foley stage and looking in and literally seeing all these crazy French Quebecois Foley artists beating a pig's head with a baseball bat. It's like, now that's dedication. Anyway. 1 week into shooting, so I dedicated the film to her. The guy passed out on me. Like fortunately I was on a uphill, like a ramp onto a freeway or something, and the guy like literally like, and then like passed out, and so I jumped like forward and put it into park, and I was like, "Are you okay? Wait, what's going on?" Or I tried to talk to him, and then like 30 minutes later, he just sort of, 30 seconds later, he just sort of woke up, like, and then started driving again. It's like, whoa. And he dropped me off at home and kept driving. Feeling to it. I mean, that's case by case with masculinity. it's weird because this genre is very hyper emotional. I'm going to answer beyond your question. Don't make a short film. Just make a feature. That's my. Yeah. Fuck shorts.
On that note.
Yeah.